I'm going to grab some of our other successes in here in a moment. Let's go ahead and get started with today's topic. So, top 10 videos of 2021. 2021 has been a really great videos. We've upgraded our cameras, we've updated our lighting, we've tried to give you more videos that relate to your needs. I know that Andy did a lot of videos that were very basic in DNA. We had some challenges behind the scenes, and so he needed to scale back for a little bit. 2022 is going to be the year of how. Lots of questions have come in about how do I do this on Ancestry DNA? How do I do this in census records? How do I do this in Roots Magic? So look forward to 2022 being the year of how on Family History Fanatics. So some things might feel kind of basic, but we want to make sure we go back to those beginnings and talk about the how. So some memorable mentions. So wait, that didn't go. Okay, honorable mentions. Yes, okay, it did go. So if you've been a fan of Family History Fanatics for a while now, you know that almost every year we do a top 10 list. The videos are almost always DNA, and almost always Andy. And to be honest, at the end of this year, I was just about to convert this to a DNA only channel. So if that shocks you, you can go ahead and share it in the comments. So I've been dealing with a little bit of self-doubt maybe until I looked at the honorable mentions. And I dominated the honorable mentions because these didn't make the top 10, but they missed out by just a hair. Not only that, these are comments, ones that generated a lot of comments. The one in particularly citing the sources, I've had some of the best conversations that aren't happening on YouTube, as people are like, oh, thank you so much for helping me not hate source citations so much. My favorite comment from families, this labeling your family search video, was, I didn't know this even existed. If I heard that once, I heard that about 1,000 times. And the ancestry video, this technique is when people are like, oh, I'm so glad I watched this because I know this to be true, but I don't practice it enough. So thanks for the reminder. And so there you go. You guys made my videos dominate these honorable mentions, these categories that rebolstered my self-esteem. And so that was really great. Let me catch up with some comments real quick. And then we'll start with number 10. Hold on a second. All right, so success for Barb. You met a second cousin in person? That's awesome. That's exciting. I hope you took lots of pictures and wrote all about it. Let's see, what were some of the other successes? Lots of Wiki2 challengings. Thank you guys for the praise on my videos. Keep the writing videos. Hey, Brigitte, we're going to keep the writing videos. One of my biggest disappointments was not being consistent over on Facebook. I was kind of bit up more than I can chew this last year. So I think I'm going to scale back the schedule a little bit and keep releasing them over on Facebook. Starting another YouTube channel that's targeted on writing isn't in the cards this year. So yeah, I'm going to keep the writing coming. That's just where it's going to be. It's just not going to be every week as I had initially planned. So yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you guys liked that illegitimate children video. Oh, thank you guys so much for the high praise. So just so you know, I'm not going anywhere, which probably should help me go ahead and get started with the top 10, because these videos make the top 10 because of views, shares, and comments. So whenever you like the video, whenever you comment on the video and watch the video to the end, to the bloopers, then YouTube will go share that with people. And then they share it with more people, and they share it with more people, and then all of a sudden these videos make the top 10. And so if your top 10 favorite is not in the top 10, don't worry, just go make sure you liked it, left a comment, and shared it with others so they can watch it, and then your favorites will make to the top 10. All right, so look who made number 10. So this was a great video, and I have to thank Greg Clark. For those of you who know Greg Clark, he's very active in our community. He saw in a DNA deep dive that people were struggling to copy their DNA match list from Ancestry and put them into a spreadsheet. And so he created this really great tool, the Ancestry DNA Table Maker. And he also created one for Living DNA. Now, they're only available for Google Docs. And if you haven't gotten your Ancestry DNA Table Maker, or if you need to reload yours, then you can go over to the Family Search Research page. Let me pull that up real quick. I was going to have it ready, and then I got so excited talking to everybody before I started. All right, so this is the Family Search Research page. So you've, let me see. I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I've got it zoomed in way really quick. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so if you go to familyhistory.com/resources, I'm going to drop that there. Oop, I better take out Bard's comments. I didn't realize it was there the whole time. Okay, so this is the address, familyhistoryfanatics.com/resources. You're going to access a lot of guides. And if you scroll down here, you're going to see the Ancestry DNA Table Maker. And unfortunately, I didn't get the Living DNA one in this list yet. But if you're on our email list, then you should have gotten a link to it on Monday in our Monday newsletter. So if you're not signed up, check in the description box. You'll be taken to how to sign up for the newsletter. Or if you get any of these research guides or the table maker, you'll also be signed up for the newsletter. But in the future, I'll also be having the Living DNA table maker link right here, hopefully before I go on vacation. But yeah, so this was a really great tool. It made it really great. Really like that Greg made this tool available for us, and it was very well received. So liked and shared. Yep, thank you. That's what you need to do for your favorite videos. When this video is over, I'm going to put a link to all of these videos, including the honorable mentions, in the description. So in case you've missed them, then that's where they'll be. But I didn't want to give away the top 10, so that's why they're not there right now. And yeah, and Maria said, thank you, Greg. That was a helpful video. So, yep, that was a great video. All right, so number 9, drum roll. What is match triangulation in Ancestry DNA? Now, I had asked Andy for this because I saw a number of viewers really getting confused when other blogs and videos and educators talk about triangulation using Ancestry. So if you'll remember, triangulation is where person A matches person B, person B matches person C, person, I keep saying person, like purchase and person. That didn't make any sense. But anyway, person C matches person A all at the same place on a chromosome. So if people are talking about triangulation on Ancestry, they still don't have a chromosome browser. So how is that possible? And because of all of that confusion, Andy put together this video, and I really thought that it helped explain what match triangulation is versus segment triangulation. So if you like that, go ahead and make sure that you share and like that video so that other people can see this. Now, one thing that I've noticed, it was really funny. I was going to a Family Search users group, and they were asking about, no, it was a Roots Magic users group. So I was in a Roots Magic users group, and people are saying, I don't know how to sync my Ancestry tree to my Family Search tree. And before I could even answer that question, and another user had said, hey, go watch this really great video on YouTube. There's this lady named Devon, and she explains it all to you. So you are so invited to take videos from myself as well as my colleagues, Connie on Genealogy TV, and Larry over DNA Family Tree, and Jarrett Ross and Useful Charts, and all the smaller creators. Feel free to go ahead and share our videos if it answers questions on those Facebook groups, because if you know we already covered the topic, go ahead and share and answer. So I blush a lot when I see people sharing my content. I think I'm always just going to be very humble. So yeah. All right, so quick check at the comments. Oh, June said, make sure everybody likes and shares this video. Absolutely. Don't expect this one to be our biggest one. This is more just for our fans to thank you. But yeah, feel free to share it. It's always great. And then Stacy, always suggesting your channel to people. Thanks so much. Be sure to also share our blog post. There's a lot of content over on our blog at familyhistoryfanatics.com that probably we won't make a video of it. And yet it has great content, particularly the writing content. So make sure that you're sharing our blogs as well, because we're not allowed to just do a lot of self-promotion. So all of that helps. Oh, and with regard to this one, I normally say match A instead of person A. I like that. That makes it easier so it doesn't come out perchin. All right. So if you like the DNA match triangulation video, go ahead and put 9 liked it or 9 loved it. And then we'll know which video that you liked or loved. And now it's time for number 8. Let me take number 8, maximizing your research on ancestry. I was so excited to see this one because it was talking about research, which you guys know I love to talk about writing and I love to talk about researching. And it was giving you some tips on how to make the most out of ancestry. And one comment that I see a lot on a lot of my research videos is, oh, I thought I knew everything about ancestry, but you just showed me something new. I thought I knew something new, everything about family search, but you just found me something new. There was something else, other platform. I thought I knew everything about that, and you shared something new. And that's what I strive to do. I try to give you enough to get you started doing something right now. And they always look for a little something different. Oh, I know which video it was. It was the Google Chrome extension video. I bet some of you have started using the autoplay video on YouTube stop extension. It is my favorite extension, and nobody talks about it, and you're welcome. But yes, this made the number 8 spot, and I was really, really excited that one of those did. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Lynn said one of her success stories. Oop, my face is up there. I made a PDF of my Brown family research, which includes transcripts of documents and methodologies. So if you'd like me to send you one, you may find something that might be helpful. Hey, that's awesome. Sure. Hey, my email is over on, my email is info@familyhistoryfanatics.com. You can send it my way. Okay. Maria, thank you so much. Maria, if I remember correctly, you love the DNA content because I see you often in the DNA content. So thank you for all that you do. Okay. And okay, so I love that you guys are using your emojis, but in the platform that I'm looking at, it doesn't let me see your emojis and share it to everybody. I wish they would fix that. Just let you know a little behind the thing. So if you're wondering why I haven't shared your emoji ones, that's why. All right, so Maria seems to have liked the ancestry video. Yay, I'm super excited. All right, enough of that. We're gonna go, but and I only share with you about the emojis I'm not asking you to stop using those emojis. That's a perk you get for being a channel member. I'll be able to look at those later during the replay. So anyway, I'm just not going to be able to pull them up on screen. So that's why I'm doing it, but don't stop using it, especially the Poldark one. Anyway, all right, number 7. So as you know, Ancestry and MyHeritage have been releasing a lot of new features with regard to ethnicity results from DNA tests. And so number 7, not surprisingly, is when MyHeritage released their genetic groups. So how many of you have been looking at the genetic groups over on MyHeritage? Now, for me, I wasn't surprised. They picked up a lot on my German to Ohio, German to Canada. My Ohio Valley pioneers have a lot of those. I don't remember what they called it right now because I haven't looked in a while, but I did like that they picked up on my Townleys who moved from New Jersey to Ohio. That was fun. And the one thing that I didn't suspect them to pick up on was my Canadian ancestors in the Ontario area. And so that was neat. It was neat to see those genetic groups. I haven't really made any more discoveries other than that. As you know, here on Family History Fanatics, we don't really, I forgot to just share you this slide. Here we go. I'm just yapping with my face. But yes, this video, number 7, but as you know, use them as clues, ethnicity as clues, but don't tattoo them on your arms, because the groups are going to change, but it was really nice to see this one. Okay, so if you like that video, put number 7 like. Now, before we continue on, I did want to highlight some videos that are still the best. We've released videos and have released videos 2016. Some of our older videos we've actually taken off because of sound quality, lack of interest. They don't apply anymore. But there are some videos that still get views and comments all of the time. And the first one, the king of the king, no surprise, are your ethnicity estimates aren't what you think. Which was kind of neat that it tagged along right after the number 7 video about genetic groups. All of the time we get questions from viewers. I've got, I thought I was going to have this amount of Asian ancestry. Why isn't it there? My brother and my sister, we don't have the same ethnicity. Why is that? I don't think it found what it was supposed to have found. I think it found too much what it was supposed to find, excuse me. And so this video constantly gets people commenting and asking questions. And so if you're ever talking to somebody and they're confused about ethnicity, this is a great starter video. And hopefully they'll see all of the comments that I've responded to and the links to the ethnicity playlist. So definitely still king of kings. All right, so June had said, genetic groups are okay. Let me move you back over here. Genetic groups are okay, but not my go-to for DNA research. I didn't have much difference between Ancestry and MyHeritage. No surprise. Oh, here's one. My most unusual genetic group is my mother-in-law. It says she never left Poland area and her family has been in Cleveland since the 1880s. That sounds confusing. Doesn't never left Poland, but is in central Cleveland, Ohio. That's very interesting. Oh, okay. So here's something from Chris. You should put old vids on an archive on YouTube and have it be called FHF Archive so you can go look back and see how far you've come. Okay, so that's a great suggestion. But what we really do is we do 2 things. Sometimes we just unlist those videos. Because if you have a link to the video from a Facebook group or from our blog or somebody else's blog, it's still accessible. Somebody can still watch it. They just have to go to wherever they had that original link. The other thing we do is if it's still valuable, but just kind of underperforming, we put that as part of our channel membership. And so if you're a member of the Family History Fanatics Extra, and you know that you're a member because you have the little leaves after your name and you have our really cool channel icons, then let me pull this up. YouTube. Over on YouTube. Let me switch the screens here for a minute. Okay, so here we are on YouTube. If you will go down here, channel member training, you're going to see DNA training. And let me pause that right there. I didn't want that. I want the playlist. Let's see. Get into the playlist. There we go. Okay, so we're into the playlist for genealogy research, and you're going to get the live streams on this playlist, and you're going to get the, hey, stop talking, Devin. You're going to get the live streams on the playlist. You're going to get our webinars. Here's a webinar, here's a live stream. But if you keep scrolling down, you're going to get some of our old videos, our other old interviews that we've had, other videos we did, like U.S. Census record. How do I research that one? It's over in the archive. And sometimes the quality is not good because, like the Southern research, that's what I did at Roots Tech. And so the sound is kind of off because we're at a conference. But there's lots of great videos that are over here. So some of our old videos are really just over under the playlists, the various playlists that you get. Let me go away. It's channel membership training. The month's training will be here. And then you have writing, research, DNA, organization, and just fun in general. So if you're trying to see all the old Phil and Bambi videos, if you want to know where they went, they're over there. Let me grab some water and read some comments here for a second. All right, so number 6. Andy loves to do comparison videos, and this is just one of those. And this year he did a comparison between Ancestry DNA communities and MyHeritage communities. So it's no surprise when you compare something to Ancestry, then you're going to get a lot of people liking this. So how many of you watched the comparison video, and which one's your favorite? So I've had some people say that they're about the same. That would be June, right? She had said, I didn't see much difference between MyHeritage and Ancestry. For me, I didn't see much difference between the two. For Andy, he had some winners and losers, and some perks on one and some positives on the other. And so, yeah, that was a fun video to do. I think in the year of how we might not do so many this versus that company comparisons, but Andy will have his top 10 choice, or his annual comparison of them all. So now, if you ever wonder where some of our topics come from, they come from you. Now, this video, in addition to how do I privatize my GEDCOM file to upload to GEDmatch, that video, which we just released this month, so it hasn't had enough time to get traction, plus this video are the 2 most requested GEDCOM videos we've ever had. So it's no surprise that when you ask a question often enough, you and your other viewers here on Family History Fanatics, you're going to see a video that we're going to make, and then it does well. So if there's a video topic that you want to recommend to us, then actually the best way to send that to me is to email it to me at info@familyhistoryfanatics.com or leave comments. Because I go through the comments, and whenever I see somebody say, hey, could you make a video about this under a related video? So if you put a DNA comment on a research video, we're probably going to overlook that, unfortunately. But if you put, for instance, I'm working on this one right now. So I've done a number of videos about how to merge on Family Search. And so, you can also unmerge, incorrectly merged people. And so I had explained that what happens if you break a merge, if you unmerge some people who then don't have any additional information added after the merge. So it's really easy. Well, a viewer said, hey, I have a situation where, children and sources and all this stuff was added after two people were merged. So can you make a video that talks about how to unmerge and then untangle the mess of the people going to the wrong place and the sources going over here? And so I'm working on that video because somebody commented on the original merging video and it was related and it makes sense of the follow-up. I just need an example. So once I find an example of somebody that's all tangled up after a merge, then I'll make that video and answer that question. So yeah, that's how you get some of the contents here on the channel. It's really responsive to what viewers asked. Okay. Oh, so this is some of your comments go back here. I like the chromosome browser on my heritage. Amen, sister. I prefer Ancestry over my heritage. Fair enough. My heritage has been doing a lot of work for photos lately, so that's no surprise that you're liking the photo features. Stacy says my heritage gives more of a breakdown, but they're similar to Ancestry. Chris is tempted to go use the photo enhancement on my heritage. Okay. There is a big difference if you're born in Europe or recent immigrants to the US. In those two cases, my heritage is more accurate. For early immigration, Ancestry is more accurate. Hey, that's nice. Thank you for sharing that comment. All right. So true. This comment is so true. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to read it for a minute because I need to get to this video. Every year, Andy does a comparison video between all of the DNA companies. And Andy had said if my heritage works on a few things, then he would actually make a preference for my heritage because of the tools, just like Stacy was saying. So he'll be releasing the 2022 comparison in January, so be sure to watch for that. Mm-hmm. All right. So, no surprise, our annual comparison video, it makes number 4 spot. Now, we're about to get to the number 3, and I was really surprised with these, and you guys have done a really good job of supporting a lot of things that we're doing here on the channel. But we have 3 videos that have so much conversation. It's really funny. Okay, so we call these our continuous conversation. The first one is, where are all the redheads? Every day I get 3 or 4 comments telling me the redheads are here, the redheads are there, the redheads descend from here. And everybody seems to have an opinion in this country and around the world about redheads in this video. And so that is so fun. And what it actually has is this video, Caleb went around Roots Tech and he asked people the question, which country has the most redheads? And he filmed them and we spliced it together, and then Andy gave an explanation at the end. So it was just a crazy video that we put together, and it's still getting lots of people commenting on. So the next video, constantly has so much controversy. And if you're involved in this controversy, go ahead and tell us where you stand on this question. And it is the question, is Finland part of Scandinavia? I did not realize what a can of worms Andy opened when he made an offhand comment during a DNA video in 2016, 2017. And that's how long this video has been around, this follow-up video. And it started a controversy. So again, while we were at Root Step, Caleb went around, asked different attendees, is Finland part of Scandinavia? And they gave their responses, and the responses, 2 or 3 a day, come in every day. And there really is no consensus. It's really funny. So if you want to weigh in, if you want to keep hashing it out with others from around the world, there you go. Where are all the gingers at? Well, you're just going to have to go watch that video, Mr. Chris. Chess video. No, the chess video, actually, the chess video is our video about what genealogy myth must die, and that is how popular really is genealogy. And genealogy is not as popular as chess pawns, and chess pawns is our euphemism for a dirty activity adults do and why you shouldn't look up the name Devon Lee. You'll need to find me as Devon Noel Lee. You always have to have my middle name if you want to find me, right? Devon Online. That's what that video was. And you know what's funny? It's so funny that you brought that up. Because I just read an article written in 2019. So after debunking the myth of just how popular genealogy is, it's not the most popular thing searched on the internet. It never has been. And it's not the second most popular hobby in the United States. It's not even close. Quilting is more popular. Just about every hobby is more popular than genealogy. But in 2019, someone still keeps putting forth the falsehood that genealogy is the most searched thing on the internet, and it's the second most popular hobby. So if you see anybody spreading that myth, then go grab our chess pawn video. Maybe I should actually put a chess pawn in the image. I'll probably forget, but I'll have to look it up and make sure I put a link to the video in addition to our top 10. There you go. Yes, please. Only find me as Devon Noel Lee. You have been warned. Oh, and then I figured my Maria, actually there's a Garth Brooks song called My Maria, but anyway, my friend Maria said Finland was Swedish in 700 years. So there you go. It keeps going. It keeps going. All right. Now, I don't know why all of a sudden, I need to take this comment off. I don't know why all of a sudden this video picked up in the last 4 months of 2021. I'd expected it to, I'll be honest, I was really afraid of leaving this video on our channel, although it's really important. I had expected a lot of hate speech, if you will, to take off on our channel after the George Floyd riots started last summer. But 4 months ago, this video started getting more views, more traction, and a lot of comments. And I'm not sure why. So if anybody can figure that out, it's great. I tried to look for what the trigger was in my Google Analytics and my YouTube Analytics, and it didn't say. I feel so strongly that history is what it was. It is what it is. It is what it was. And so we should not feel guilty about anything any of our ancestors did in the past. I cannot change their decisions because I was not alive then, and I cannot be so prideful to think that I would have acted any differently. However, The one thing I can't seem to get across to the people in the comment section is that there is something we can do to benefit the descendants of the enslaved and to any dark period of history and where people are involved. The thing we can do is to bring forth record sets and to share them so that those who were negatively impacted by that bad event in modern worldview, that they can build their family tree. And I don't know how to get the people who watched that video to get that point. Many people will say, Devon, you need to support this advocacy issue. I am never going to support anything that's going to be detrimental to record preservation and tree building. Some of the things I've been asked to support, I'm not going to name, but some of the things I've been asked to support would cause people to burn their records, hide their records, destroy their family tree, and not help at all with genetic genealogy. So people who are adopted or have mysteries or whatever it is can make progress. And I've been told, Devon, you're being hyperbolic. That's not going to happen. And that is so not true. It will happen. When money is involved, one of the advocacy things is to have this group pay for that group because of something that happened 200 years ago. No. When money gets involved, trees get corrupted. Ask the people who purchased family trees in the 1800s from professional genealogists, and it's just fabricated garbage. When money is involved, trees get complicated. Then the other thing, let's just say I have some friends whose grandparents have led countries where they were in power, and then they had to go into exile, and they destroyed every possible record that could identify who they're connected to. And they and their family will not take a DNA test because even generations later, the people who kicked them out of power want to kill anybody who could have a right to rule. That happened in the medieval times. Whenever one power took over the other power, you killed all the descendants, you destroyed all the records, you didn't want a threat to your throne. And so I'm never going to advocate for anything that's going to be detrimental to genealogy. And I don't think I needed to make a separate video about that, but those are my thoughts. So if you want to be a part of that conversation on that video, be respectful and help me teach people that the only thing that really matters is if you come across records that are wills and they identify slaves, or they are log books from a plantation or whatever, and they identify the sale and purchase of enslaved person, and then the people who descend from them can piece together their family, then please, please, please make those records available to others. That's all we can do. All right, lots of comments going on on my little rant there. Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate that. Exactly, John. The reason why we, as family historians, is try to capture that family history is so we can learn from it. That's it. We want to learn from it and see that we can build upon the good things and perpetuate legacies, but also improve upon the past. And there should be forgiveness. There should just always be forgiveness. Thank you. Oh, hey! Thanks for joining us, Creative Minds. I appreciate your kind words there. Oh, before we go on, I'm just trying to get my emotions in check. That was really kind of hard for me to tackle. I think it's important to stand up for what you believe, but it's also hard to do, and it takes a lot out of us. Open-mindedness is the only way to move forward. We need to learn from our mistakes, or those of our ancestors because it's part of who we are today. Absolutely. Absolutely. As many of you guys know, if you've watched this channel for a while, my father, he was the one who stopped the cycle of consuming alcohol. His father was an alcoholic. His father was an alcoholic. I have documentation of this. And then it's believed that the father before him was an alcoholic. So multiple generations of German alcoholics. Not saying all Germans are alcoholics, but Germans like beer. That's all I'm saying. Gosh, I need to be careful here. But what I am saying is, because I know of that cycle of alcoholism, and I know that even though my dad didn't slay all the monsters that are associated with somebody who's an alcoholic, and he did stop consuming the liquid in my home. And so my job is to slay the rest of the monsters he laid out and try to be better so that I can invite my children to be better and to know that heritage. So yes, we need to learn about the past so that we can see, oh, I see they were doing this coping thing, and that's not really a healthy strategy. Oh, they probably learned that from this person. Oh, I can see, you can start to see all of these patterns, and then you can improve your life and the life of your children. Actually, it's not awful. I don't want you to think the slavery video is awful. I just feel like some people are missing the point, right? So some people are saying you have to support this advocacy issue, and some people are saying, I have no responsible. This is so stupid. Why are you putting up this video? White guilt, just all the jargon that's going on this day, right? And so it's not awful. Surprisingly, it's not as bad. What I can't seem to do is get people to get to that second point. If that makes sense. Oh, look at this. Thanks, Kathy. Maybe I need to, you know what? Maybe that's the video that we need to do about WikiTree in February. I wanted to do something for WikiTree in February, and maybe that's what we need to feature. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Very true. Well said. And thank you. I think we should all just kind of stand together. As genealogists, we really need to stand together and not get caught up in fights that are going to divide us. That's happened a lot in 21 and 2022, but I will not get into it. Instead, I'm going to go to number 3, and I love this video. I love this video, and I loved that you all love this video. And I don't know who's been sharing my video, but thank you so much. But how to do a no-name search and how to do a no-surname search on the various platforms. This was fun to do. I gotta take that off. This was fun to do because it is a technique I use all the time. I didn't realize it was an advanced technique until I started talking to people, and they're like, oh, that's brand new. And so if you've done a no-surname search or a no-name search, then let me know. This video has over 80,000 views on it and counting. Blew my mind. No, this one doesn't have 80,000. This has 40 or 50,000. The next one has 80,000. Sorry, I confused the two. But it's really up in there. I had no idea this one would take off as much as it had. I thought the illegitimate child one would take off more, but maybe it just needs a few more months because I just released it. But yeah, this was a fun video to make, and I'm so glad it was so well received. Thank you so much, June. Yeah, I'm so glad you felt that way. What's really fun is I know in the comments we have a lot of experienced researchers. So I make a lot of videos for beginners because when I was a beginner, I just didn't think the quality of education was that great. A lot of good, it was great for intermediate researchers, but not enough to get a teenager and a college student involved in genealogy. And so I have a special place in my heart for beginning genealogists. And I initially thought this would be a beginner video. And then when people like you and some of our other more experienced people in this community said, oh, this was such a great video, I was like, oh, thanks. I can serve multiple people. So thank you so much. And Maria, you seem to like that one as well. John, you gave that a try. I'll come back to Gerald's comment here in a minute because it relates to something previous. All right. So I alluded to the next video having more than 80,000 views. You ready to see what it is? Any guesses? This one. The little known websites that 10 professional genealogists use. And I had this video idea because I have a lot of colleagues in the community, and 2021 and 2022 has been really hard. I mean, we've almost all made the switch to virtual, but a lot of my colleagues were struggling to meet their financial goals, to feel like they're helping anybody. And so I just decided to reach out to my professional genealogy friends and say, hey, tell me a little known website that you use. And this video went gangbusters. At first, it started out slow, and I was like, oh, okay, it's going to turn out that way. 8 months later or so, it had 80,000 views. Now, the number one request was, okay, so that's really US-centric. Well, I'm a US-centric researcher, and Andy's US-centric and does a little bit of UK. And I try to share things from across the world. And in 2022, I'm hoping to bring on guests who have more knowledge about things around the world, because I can't know everything. So why not bring them on? So if you have any recommendations of some people to come on and talk about specific areas, if you really already like them and think this audience would like them, then send me an email at info@familyhistoryfanatics.com and say, hey, I would love you to have person X come and talk about Australia research, or whatever. That would be great. And this is a time when somebody can self-promote themselves. They can reach out to me and say, hey, I talk about Afro-Caribbean research, and I would love to come and talk to your audience about that. Self-promotion is fine as long as it's on target. Don't try to sell me, I don't know, pants. I get some of the strangest emails. But the other thing people wanted to know were the 10 little-known websites around the world. And so I'm hoping in 2021 to reach out to my international colleagues and have them share there. So look forward to that in 2022. And so Jewish genealogy for sure. Hey, I have interviewed I'm going to butcher her last name, Jennifer Mendelson. We did an interview at Roots Tech, and that was good. The Jewish community loves sharing her interview again. And if you know of somebody else you would like to have, just send it over. WikiTree, I will be doing some more with WikiTree this next year. Amen, Stacy. Yes, we're going to come back to that thought in a minute. And then let's see. Yeah, I offered great tips from websites to visit. You know what? I just asked my colleagues, and they're the ones that gave me these websites. Now, one of them was Google, but somebody gave me a new way to search Google, and so that was fine. And then my colleague, Amy Tennant Bowser, she gave me one for legislative information that I hadn't even known existed. So even I learned a lot of new things when I asked people out. Okay, Chris, you made me laugh. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so let's do the last video, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A, sharing of what's going on before we wrap up tomorrow. I'll also tell you about tomorrow after. So let's go to the next video. Oh, yes. That is a fantastic idea. I will reach out to Jarrett. Thank you. All right. Actually, number one. Okay. Let me tell you, I didn't realize this video was going to go bonkers. So what I did is I had gone to a community called Quora where people ask a lot of questions and people respond back. If you use Quora or something like that, let me know in the chat. So I went into Quora and this question, how far back is 3% ancestry? How far back is 5%, in ethnic group on my DNA results? Where do I look for the 4% fill in the blank ancestry? And I saw that question come over again and again and again and again. There was so much conflicting information that I said, Andy, can you tackle this? So, fairly new, yes, within the last, I would say the last couple months. I'd have to go look at it and pull up it. But this video has over 200,000 views on it. It is astronomically well received and well wrought. Now, Andy is behind on answering all the comments because when you have a video that goes that crazy, there are hundreds of comments and he doesn't have as much time to work on things. Now, there will be some changes behind the scenes. I can't release them just yet. We're not moving. That's not it. It should give Andy more time than we thought he was going to have in 2022. So there's a positive thing. And so hopefully he'll catch up on some of his comments. But yeah, this video was well received and the idea came from Quora. So maybe if you are in any online community, such as Quora, Reddit, what are the other ones? Quora, Reddit, Answer the Public, I don't know. Whatever community you're in, if you see a question that people tend to keep asking, then send it our way, info@familyhistoryfanatics.com. Link to a couple of the comments that people are sharing in those communities so we get a sense of what are they trying to ask and what answers are people providing. And then we'll go ahead and make a video. So sometimes the videos come directly from you, and sometimes the video comes from these other places where we see these frequently asked questions. Okay, so Discord. I can't use Discord. But if you use Discord and you see some frequently asked questions, go ahead and send them away. So yeah, those were the top 10 videos. If there were some videos that you're like, hey, my favorite video wasn't in there, go ahead and let me know what those were. I did have a comment from Gerald. I need to go find that real quick. Have it ready. But yeah, 2021 was a year where you all supported Andy and I when we needed you to support us. I've also been so grateful for the community to be patient with Andy and I when live streams get scheduled for the wrong time in the morning. Live streams right now will happen at 10 a.m. on a Friday or a Saturday. Today was a little bit special because I didn't have a voice at the beginning of the week when I wanted to film. So you get a bonus stream. You're there when I misspell something in the title, or I forget to do this, or I forget to do that. And it really is a one-woman show who edits her co-host. That's kind of how it goes. And I had hoped to bring somebody on board as an assistant. It hasn't quite happened yet. But the more you support our videos, commenting, liking, sharing, the more we're able to receive the revenue from the FHF channel memberships and from the ads. Just watching an ad helps us grow. I know you don't like the ads, which is why we always make fun of them at the premiere when they seem way off topic when we are in the premieres. But when you watch those ads, it's actually where we get a lot of our income from. And hopefully this next year, we can continue to grow and we can be able to eventually hire some extra work. When my big kids left, Rachel and Caleb, when they moved out, my editing team left, my social media team left, and the younger ones just aren't ready to do that yet. So I appreciate all of your support. So 2022, the year of how, that's definitely what we're going to tackle. Let me go ahead. If you have any questions, we can do maybe 5-10 minutes of questions or comments or favorite videos, whatever you want. We'll stick around for another 5-10 minutes, and then I have to go get Bambi out of the closet and Phil out of fluffing his hair. And tomorrow we're going to do something really, really fun. So there is a website called Cahoots. And tomorrow morning, make sure you look at the community tab of Facebook, and we will have a video on how to use Cahoots. And then we'll also have a link to a couple of the Cahoots games that we're going to play. And Phil and Bambi will go against each other, but you will be able to join if you're joining us live and playing along with us, and to see if you two are smarter than Phil and Bambi. And Patricia's not here today, and she loves Bambi, but she thinks she's just a few chromosomes short of a segment. That's the funniest comment I've ever heard. And she will be here tomorrow, and we are going to play a game, and we're just going to have fun. I know it's Christmas Eve for those who celebrate Christmas, but we wanted to do something silly. And so Phil and Bambi will be here tomorrow doing genealogy trivia. All right, comments. Gerald says, facts should always be preserved. I even found a white sheep in my family history, and he's still in my tree. You know what? We need to preserve everybody. There's suicide, there's infidelity, there are, murder, there's cheating, neglect. Family, people aren't always perfect, and that's okay. But what we can do is let me zoom out a little bit. Not that way. Here we go. I think this will be better. Yeah, that'll be better. All right. But what we can do is preserve the stories, because good, bad, or ugly, when we know our heritage, we can learn from it. So totally agree with that statement right there. All right, hold on. I love you. I love you too. No, Caleb had a difficult year at Texas Tech University. He did nearly all engineering courses, which is really hard. And just the amount of work you have to do. Plus, he was holding a part-time job. Plus, he was actually at a campus this year. COVID is still hurting the college life. And he was experiencing a lot of people just going home on the weekends. I don't know if that's a Lubbock, Texas Tech thing, that people just go home on the weekends. When I was at A&M, Texas A&M, maybe some people went home on the weekend. I mean, there were 40,000 students there, but not enough that the community just seemed to be dying. And so he just, socially, emotionally, and everything, there was just too much on his plate. So he might, if he has a voice tomorrow, he might be here tomorrow to help moderate the Cahoots game. All right. Aw, you're so sweet. Love you too. Thanks for your support. All right. Merry Christmas, Andy and family. Thank you for all the helpful lab sessions or fabulous sessions and videos. You are so welcome. And thank you for being there when I need you. No, we're not going back to green screen, and I'll tell you why. Andy looks great on green screen. I look like an alien. And after all the green screens and alien body parts and people zooming in and zooming out from the background in 2022, 2021, and 2022, as everybody switched to Zoom and Zoom has a green screen feature, I think I'm going to leave that in the past. This setup is good, and that's what we're going to do. Sorry. I hope, but we'll continue doing the whiteboard because I know you guys like that so much. All right. Okay. I think my voice is going to give out. Thank you guys for listening to me, even though I was hoarse. Thank you for all of your support. I have one little request. Let's make 2022 a year that Andy's DNA videos and my research videos really have a head-to-head comment competition. So make sure that you're commenting. I'm not asking you to comment on videos where you just say, hey, liked it on every video, because, you know, they're nice, but they're not necessarily needed. But if you watch research videos and you have something to share, gosh, Y chromosome, he's not here today. Or she, actually, I don't know. I don't know the person behind Y chromosome, but that person is sharing so much information with me. It is incredible. I'm learning so much. So feel free to share your success stories. Feel free to share examples. Feel free to share questions. Feel free to just load me up with lots of competitions and really make those research videos have good competition with the DNA videos. We're going to keep putting them both out. Thank you for making 2022 21 great, and I'm looking forward to 2022. And before you go, mark your calendar for January 7th. January 7th is part of the launch of the 1921 Census of England and Wales. And Find My Past is having a kickoff week beginning on January 6th. That's when you're going to be able to start accessing the record on their website. It might be worth a subscription next year. So ask for Christmas. You can buy it in the next 2 days. Find My Past is going to have the 1921 census. And this is incredible for our British and our English and our Welsh ancestors. I said British and English, sorry. Got the idea. Anyway, on January 7th, we are going to have Jen Baldwin with Find My Past do a live stream at 10 a.m. So it will 10 a.m. Mountain. So that's noon Eastern. It will follow the Find My Past Friday that starts at 9 a.m. that many of us watch. I just don't comment all the time because I'm getting ready for this show. So they're going to have the British focused using Find My Past at 9 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock over on this channel, we're going to have why U.S. researchers will benefit from that 1921 Census of England and Wales. And then we'll do that for about 45 minutes. Then we'll take a quick break, potty break, get some water, do all that. And then our channel members will have a bonus live stream. Our typical live streams are on Saturday. But when we have a special guest, we're going to do it right after the live stream. And it will begin at 11 Mountain, so 1 o'clock Eastern. And they're going to do a deep dive, a how-to. They're going to show us how to be successful, walking us through the steps of Find My Past. So if you have English ancestors and that 1921 census is going to be so helpful to your research, then I want to make sure you show up for our public guest stream on January 7th at noon Eastern. And then the members will have a bonus one that begins the following hour, so 1 p.m. Eastern. Because you have to be a channel members to see that one. So we're going to do a number of guests. I already have commitments from a legacy tree genealogist, Find My Past, My Heritage. I'm working with Ancestry DNA, and there's one other one. So we're going to have a number of guests this next year. It's going to be great. And that's kind of how our format. We'll have a public live stream for 1 hour. Then we'll switch to our members only live stream. There's not an easy rollover, so be prepared that it'll be another video to click on. So there'll be 2 links if you're signed up for an email. Anyway, super excited. Just got the word yesterday that Jen's going to be with us on January 7th. So we will see you then. Bye, everyone.